What's up, guys? Welcome back. Before we get to today's video, I want to talk serious for a minute here. One of our fellow hunters recently up in Wisconsin died in a tragic tree stand accident. Ryan Giefer. His family's going through a rough time right now, as you can expect. We're going to put a GoFundMe link down in the description below for anybody that wants to help him out. You guys see us going up and down these trees all the time with our saddles and all of our safety equipment and all those things. This is something that you need to take very, very seriously all the time. It could seriously injure you or take your life, so pay very close attention the next time you're going up in a tree. And sending lots of prayers right now up to the Giefer family in Wisconsin. Like I said, check out that link in the description below. Now let's get to today's video. Be safe out there, guys. Sorry. If that buck just want to stop.
That's how it goes. Huh? You need more room, boy?
Nah, Curl, I'll be just fine back here.
Alright, buddy.
Could use a warm blanket if you've got one.
One in the back.
Yeah, there is, but I ain't gonna dig it out.
Yeah, there's definitely a mouse in the freaking car because this mic, the foam is chewed off. We made it back to Iowa this morning, November 5th today, and we left the Public Land Challenge camp at like 9 o'clock last night.
It's 10 o'clock last night.
10 o'clock last night. It's about 7:30 right now, so we drove through the night and got here to hunt this morning. Roy and I are going into an area where we've had a camera up since pretty much early season this year, and we've been checking it every once in a while and getting a ton of pictures of nice bucks on here. A lot of them in daylight. Jake just checked this camera the other day and there's a bunch of bucks in daylight in here just the past couple days, so seems like there's a lot of bucks in here. Maybe a hot doe went through there, I don't know, but pretty much since we hung the camera there's been a steady amount of bucks in the area. This is like the first time that anybody's gone up in here, so for some reason Roy and I are the lucky ones that get to go up in here. Hopefully it turns out as good as the camera's showing, but we got our saddles, everything we need to get up in the tree.
And we packed food for all day.
Yep, we're ready to rock and roll. We're pretty excited. We got some caffeine in us this morning and
a collective like 1.5 hours of sleep between the two of us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, me and Roy drove the whole way back. So November 5th only comes around once a year. So
that's right.
Maybe we'll get woke up by a buck.
That'd be cool.
Just making it back here to the Stik stuff, and there's a real fresh scrape right here. Looks like it was done, I don't know, this morning or last night. Where we were thinking about getting to is a ways back there yet, but like we've been talking about, we got time to work back in there. Like we can hunt this for a couple hours and then move back there. We got food for all day, so that might be what we want to do. Just get up in a tree or tuck back in that little spot right there and see if something comes through here. Yeah. A lot of deer back here and bucks are on the move today for sure. Roy and I just got set up. We're pretty excited about it. We were walking down this thick edge and we ran into that first scrape that had real fresh tracks in it. It looked like it had been opened up maybe this morning or last night. So we just kept working our way down this edge, looking for a good spot to set up and maybe some more sign. And we ran into this spot where it's just kind of a break in this thick stuff, and there's a bunch of heavy trails coming up and down it. This ridge kind of lines up with that camera. We're thinking a lot of those deer that have been on that camera might be walking this trail after they go by it.
Where this trail intersects that one that we were walking in on, there were 2 scrapes there.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like really thick, and so it's funneling them down into these trails that are right in front of us, which are maybe like 10-15 yards. So our backdrop is a nice big cedar tree. Feeling pretty good about the setup.
If we can get eyes on something that's down in their ways coming this way, we should have a good chance of being able to get hid, get drawn, and kill him. So feeling good about this setup. Yeah,
1
Nice buck right there. See him?
You're running around over there.
Can't right now. It might just come right back through. Just sit right here for a
Had a huge buck come running a doe up through here. He came by at like 15 yards, but he was going so fast and he was facing pretty much right at us the whole time. This cedar is super thick that we were sitting under. Never really had an opportunity once he got broadside. I tried snort wheezing at him and he stopped and turned around and looked real hard, but never ended up coming back around. So Roy and I circled around to the other side of the cedar and got tucked in here again where we can shoot a little bit better where that buck came through, assuming that doe's hot. So that's ideal. That's exactly what we're looking for this time of year. And there's a good chance more bucks could come down following her trail. So we're in a good setup right now. Wind's starting to pick up and blow a little more consistent, especially on top of this little ridge. So we're pretty fired up. Roy, I think that's the first time Roy's ever seen anything like that.
Oh yeah, they don't really do that back home. That's insane.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So we're fired up, ready to go. Driving all night was definitely worth it.
Well, that's gonna do it for the first night here. We ended up seeing a doe and a fawn. That was pretty much it for the evening. Pretty surprising. We thought for sure we'd have quite a few deer filtering out towards those beans. Maybe a buck cutting some doe trails or something like that. No dice, so we're gonna head back to the boat, go back to the house, and probably be back in here somewhere in the morning. Roy and I just got set up in this tree, and it's like 8 o'clock right now. We were gonna try and get in here before dark, but it took us a lot longer to walk in here than we thought it would. It worked out because we've never been in here in the dark, so we worked our way in here pretty slow during first light and picked this tree out. And there's a real fresh scrape right under us here. Lots of trails going through here. Big cedar thicket out in front of us, and where we were hunting yesterday was probably 100 yards that direction on the other side of this thicket. Our wind's blowing perfect out into this field. We feel like we're in a real good setup, so I already had a buck come by with a doe while Roy was still on the ground and I was hanging this stuff up here. And the doe came by at 15 yards and heard a buck grunting back in there but never saw it and haven't seen him come out, so good chance he's still over there right now. We got plenty of snacks and water to be in here all day, and if the action's hot, we'll probably do that. We got a good feeling about it. It's November 6th, bucks are up and moving, so Zach and Jake are out at a different spot. Sounds like they've been in a bunch of bucks as well.
Like our setup a lot, baby.
Did you say baby?
I did say baby.
Roy says I like our setup a lot, baby. Got turkeys running around. Turkey tag in my pocket.
Spooked a lot of turkeys on the way in.
Spooked a pile of turkeys out of the tree. do that and pop out here where I can shoot him. I thought he was probably going to be a big one when I saw him down through there, because just figured he would be. Not the case this time. Just climbed down. It's about 2 o'clock right now, and we haven't seen any deer for probably an hour. Last deer we saw were 2 does walking about 50 yards away down here towards the private. Roy and I have been talking about what we should do this afternoon. We debated on whether or not just to stay up in this tree or work back towards where we came in from this morning, found a bunch of sign out there, or move this direction. Seems like there's a couple draws up here that we haven't scouted around yet, so we're gonna work our way that way and poke around and see what we come up with, see what we find for sign over there, and probably get set up a little bit further that direction. Seems like a lot of deer are probably gonna come out of that way, heading back this way for the evening. We hunted movement going that way yesterday and didn't hardly see any deer, so make a little adjustment here and set up for the afternoon. It's come down to the end of the day. We saw quite a few deer out in this cornfield that we were sitting next to. It's a private field. We saw 2 small bucks, a doe, and then a doe with a nice buck. They're all out there feeding tonight, and one buck was chasing that doe around a little bit. We haven't touched a whole lot of area in this place. We pretty much hunted the one side yesterday, and then hunted this side today. Saw quite a few deer both days. Tonight, we had more action in the evening than we did over there. We're just kind of picking away at it in here. Probably be back in here somewhere tomorrow. We ran a new shooter the last 2 days, so sooner or later something will end up in front of us.
On the next episode, Ted and Roy head back to a familiar location and put some aggressive tactics to use to get close to some big, rutting Iowa bucks.
That's the one right there.
Oh my god.
He's a freaking tank.